Okay, a lot to think about. We have Josh now, and ladies and gentlemen, Josh Kolsrud, prominent attorney here in town. There are so many cases that we want to ask you about.
Can't wait.
Okay, so here's Josh. I'm just going to go down the list of the kind of the way we have it here. There was a cold case arrest in a case that this amazes me. It goes back 40 years in Flagstaff. A Glendale man in this particular case is going to face first-degree murder charges. James Runnels Jr. This has to do with the death of a 24-year-old woman in Flagstaff, as we say, 2 generations ago. 40 years ago, Ina Langstaff in Flagstaff found stabbed to death outside her apartment in November of 1987. And investigators had reached a dead end, but then last year, some new DNA evidence. And I guess it's a situation, Josh, where new technology continues to unfold that can bring these cold cases to light.
Exactly. And, we saw this at the...
I'm just going to move your mic here, Josh.
Sure. We saw this when DNA first came out, when law enforcement primarily relied on fingerprints. And, then over the next 10 to 20 years, cold cases would be solved from the 70s and 80s that could never have been solved without it, with just, the burgeoning of DNA, right? So this is kind of like that because of the new technologies and what these agencies are able to do with DNA. And we saw this in the Brian Kohberger case, for example. Remember, that was the case in Idaho where the guy, killed the 4 women that were living, including somebody from the valley, and they were able to discover him through a new technique called genetic genealogy DNA analysis. And we don't know yet which advanced technique that the lab that Cunningham County is used. It hasn't been disclosed, but it's certainly exciting for the victims in the case. Now, remember, DNA is just circumstantial evidence. It doesn't tell you why the DNA is there.
Can a good attorney get it thrown out?
Well, it depends. Yeah, so there could be issues with the DNA because if it wasn't handled properly, or there were breaks in the chain of looking at the evidence, like every time you check out the evidence, you're supposed to write your initials on it. Every time that you put it back, you write your initials on it. If there's any break in the chain of custody, that certainly can pose problems. Also, DNA, if it's not stored properly, can degrade over time. And so there's certainly going to be arguments about the fail rate of this new DNA technique. So what prosecutors need to do is, I think that the DNA Cunningham County is going to allege shows that this person was at the scene of the crime. But they're going to have to show through other circumstantial evidence, unless there's an admission, that he was the one that committed the murder. And after 40 years, witnesses disappear, memories fade. It's going to be a tough case regardless of this development.
Well, and we always point out, innocent till proven guilty, but it is an interesting development for sure. Okay, should we go on to our next one?
Yeah, we got a few to get through. So the next case, we've talked about it briefly, I think the last time you were on, this Cunningham case here. So it's a murder trial involving the death of a young child, the daughter of this former Phoenix police detective, and his wife. And, this trial already started. So the jury is seated. They've heard the evidence in this case. How rare is it in a situation like this? Now we're seeing 2 people that are facing first-degree murder charges being released. Just lay out this case and what that says. The issues with the evidence. Yeah.
What's happening is unprecedented in this state. And it's unprecedented for a variety of reasons. Number one, a judge doesn't typically release 2 first-degree murder inmates in the middle of trial who are facing the rest of their lives in prison for no reason, right? And to me, that foreshadows what's going to happen, which is the judge is going to dismiss the case. Now, the question is going to be whether it's with prejudice or without prejudice.
And the difference there is what?
The difference is if it's without prejudice, the prosecution can refile charges at a later date. Now, the bigger story, and it's hard to say that it's bigger because this is pretty big, is what's happening at the Goodyear City Police Department. What is alleged is that they've been using this software that has a lot of vulnerabilities, including having unaccounted for chain of custody issues, and people can input data without knowing who those people are, and it really questions or can create questions about chain of custody, but also the reliability of evidence. So every single case that has any type of chain of custody issue is going to have to be reevaluated. So inmates that have been sentenced to prison or took plea agreements because they believe that the evidence, the strength of the evidence was at a certain degree, they're going to be challenging these cases on appeal. People that went to trial that didn't know about these issues are going to be appealing it because the evidence could have been challenged in court and it wasn't. This is a huge story, and it's going to cause huge civil lawsuits, and it's going to fill up the appellate docket for probably 10 years.
So you have, that bigger aspect of it, what was going on at the Goodyear Police Department and the evidence and the systems they were using. But how likely do you think in this case that the judge will dismiss this case with prejudice?
So that's a tougher question because the judge has to rule whether or not the prosecution really was aware of the problem and didn't disclose it. And it doesn't look like the prosecution was aware of the problem. They disclosed it the same night that they found out about it, and so I don't think there's going to be any allegation of prosecutorial misconduct, and because of that, I don't think it's going to be dismissed with prejudice.
Okay, we'll take a break and